showing. I know now. So there we go. It's what my jacket's on. That and I'm cold. But anyway, let us look at the next three problems. So facts are still the same with one small change. We have a cost of $100,000, useful life 5 years, salvage value $10,000. But now, instead of January 1st, year one, I'm going to buy this on October 1st, year one. And we're still pretending always, unless otherwise told, that our year ends on December 31st. So let's go ahead and depreciate this asset. Let's do it for number 6, right? And now we're going to say this is 6, and then 7, double declining, and 8 units of activity. Okay. Annual, and by annual I do mean 12 months. Annual depreciation using straight line, we know cost minus salvage value over useful life. Well, the cost hasn't changed. Salvage value hasn't changed. Useful life hasn't changed. It's still $18,000 a year. But a year is 12 months, January 1st to December 31st. So, here we go. I still want to know what is depreciation. I still want to know what is accumulated depreciation. And I still want to know what book value is. And remember again, book value is cost minus accumulated depreciation. Book value. So here it is. I purchased this asset January 1 in year one. No, I didn't. You let me lie. I purchased this asset on October 1st. Okay. So if I had held this asset an entire year, I would have gotten $18,000 of depreciation, but I didn't. Purchased it on October 1st. Be careful. How many months till the end of the year did I hold this asset? And you better not be thinking 2 months, because that's not right. I held it all of October, all of November, and all of December, 3 months. So I want to prorate this 3/12 worth, the 3 months that I had it over the 12 months in a given year. And we come up with depreciation in year one, $4,500. Which means my accumulated depreciation on 12/31 year one is $4,500. Book value, $100,000 minus $4,500, $95,500. Year two, for this example, it's January 1st, year two to December 31st, year two, whole year. I know what a whole year's depreciation is, $18,000. And in year three, I also held it a whole year. And in year four, well, leaving off a zero there, a whole year. In year 5, $18,000. So let's go ahead, calculate our accumulated depreciation, book value, all that good stuff. So $4,500 plus $18,000, $22,500. And when I subtract that from $100,000, I have a book value of $77,500. Accumulated depreciation, December 31st, year 3, $40,500. When I take $100,000 and subtract out $40,500, I'm going to get $59,500. When I take my $18,000 in year 4 and add it to the $40,500, I'm going to get $58,500. And when I subtract that from $100,000, I'm going to get $41,500. Same thing in year 5. This gives me $76,500. When I subtract that out from $100,000, I've got a book value of $23,500. We said earlier, always, rule never violated. At the end of useful life, book value would equal salvage value. Salvage value is $10,000. This isn't $10,000. Why do we think that is? Did I make a mistake? Not mathematically, anyway. And we know I'm good for mathematical mistakes, but today that's not what happened. This asset has a life of 5 entire years. I got a whole year here, and a whole year here, whole year, 4 whole years. But only 3 months in the first year. So to catch the end of the 5th year, which happens in year 6, right, I want to take this $18,000 and multiply by my last 9 of the 12 months, my partial year. This gives me $13,500. When I add that to the $76,500, looky, 90,000, 10,000, and we are happy. Again, mathematically, straight line is never going to send us over this max, okay? But the other 2 methods will. Okay. So we have taken straight line, all right, and prepared it when I purchased it on January 1st and when I purchased it on October 1st. All ready for double decline? Okay, let's do it. The formula also hasn't changed. It's the purchase date that changed. So annual depreciation, and that does mean for an entire year, double declining, is book value times 2 over useful life. So book value, year 1, we have no accumulated depreciation. Book value is $100,000. And I want to multiply that by 2 over useful life, which we know is 40%. That would be for a whole year. But again, I purchased this asset on October 1st, so I've only held this asset for 3 months. And so if I take $100,000, I set my calculator at 0 first, and then multiply it by 40%, and then 3 divided by 12, this gives me depreciation in year 1, $10,000, making my accumulated $10,000. Book value is cost, $100,000, minus accumulated depreciation, 10, gives me 90. Year 2, I take book value, $90,000, multiply by 2 over useful life. But this year I've held this asset for the entire time. So I get a full year's depreciation. When I take 40% of this will give me $36,000. When I've added that to last year's $10,000, this will give me $46,000, and book value, 54. Bringing 54 in to the following year, and I multiply that by 0.4, this gives me $21,600. I have to start being careful here, right? Because I cannot exceed 90,000. Double declining almost always exceeds. But when I take 60-something and 21-something, I'm not worried about exceeding 90. Not right now, anyway. So this is $67,600. When I subtract this from 100,000 to get book value, I'm going to come up with $32,400. Bringing this in, 40%, same as 2/5. This gives me $12,960. So if I take the $12,960, add it to the $67,000, I have not exceeded $90,000. I can accept this amount of depreciation, giving me accumulated depreciation of $80,560. When I subtract this from 100,000, if I had subtracted it from 100,000 properly, I would come up with $19,440. Coming into year 5, $19,440 times 40%, $7,700. 776. 80,000, 7,000. I'm not worried about exceeding 90 at the moment. This gives me 88,336. When I subtract this from 100,000, I'm left with a book value of 11,664. And again, you're thinking, end of year 5, book value doesn't equal salvage value. And it doesn't, right? Because we still have 9 more months. I got 3 months. I got whole year, whole year, whole year, whole year, 4 whole years in 3 months. I've got to catch this last 9 months. So I come down, I've got 11,664 times 40% times now the 9/12. So I'm prorate for the rest of this year. And I come up with a number that I'm going to round to the nearest dollar of $34.99. Now, when I take this number and add it to that number, we are going to exceed 90,000. So I can't accept this number. I'll reject it. I know the maximum amount I can depreciate is 90,000. I know I've already depreciated 88,336. All right. So when I take the difference between these two numbers, I'm going to come up with 1,664. When I add this through, this will give me 90,000. And looky, here we are. Where my book value equals salvage value. Okay. So, last method. We've looked at this before, right? Units of production, except now I have to remind us what our units of production are. Let's do this exercise one more time. So, units of activity, units of production. To get the depreciation per unit, I'm going to take cost minus salvage value over useful life. But now we decided useful life for us was machine hours, if we remember. Cost is still 100,000, salvage is still 10,000. Still $1.50 per machine hour. So the amount didn't change. And if you do remember, it's based on usage, not time. So it says pretend that in each of these years, in year 1, we use this, what did we decide last time? 12,000 machine hours, 25,000 machine hours. In year 3, we use a 0 machine hours. Year 4 was 20,000 machine hours. And year 5 was 5,000 machine hours. Now, in each of these years, when I say year 1, I don't mean the first 12 months. From the time I purchased it on October 1st to December 31st of this year in year 1, those 3 months, I used it 12,000 machine hours. But when I was in year 2, which was January 1st to December 31st, now we're talking 12 months. And in this 12 months, right, I used it 25,000 machine hours, then 0, and so on and so forth. So somehow, I used the daylights out of this machine in October, November, and December. And I got 12,000 machine hours out of it. At $1.50 a machine hour, we're going to come up with $18,000. My accumulated depreciation is $18,000, giving me book value $82,000. Next year, $1.50 times 25,000 miles, machine hours, 37,500. What's 18,000? It's going to be 55,500. When I subtract this from 100,000, I've got book value of 44,500. Do me a favor. Turn back one page, right, and go back and look at problem number 5. In problem number 5, we had the same problem. The only difference, right, was that this was January 1st. And notice that we're still getting the same depreciation, accumulated depreciation in book value in the first 2 years. And I assure you that when we work this out all the way, it's going to be identically the same. And you say, but it wasn't the same for straight line and double declining. Well, those were time-based. This is not time-based, this is usage-based. And as long as I used it for the same amount in a period of time, regardless of whether it's 3 months, 6 months, 7 months, or 4 days, it doesn't matter. You take the rate times the amount you used it in this calendar year. So what we're going to find out is all these numbers are going to be identically the same because this is not based on time, it's based on usage. So when I don't use it in year 3, my depreciation is 0. My accumulated depreciation is still $55,500. My book value is still $44,500. 20,000 machine hours times $1.50 is $30,000. When I add this through, this will be 85,500. So give me 14,500. I come here. This gives me 7,500. When I look at 7,500 and 85,500, we fail, just like before. I rejected this. I take my 90,000 max plus what I've already subtract out what I already had. This is going to give me 4,500, which will give me 90,000, which will give me a 10,000. And this is our 3 methods of depreciation. When I buy it on the first day of the year, and when I buy it at some other point, prorate. And we talked about, real quickly, about this idea of a gain or a loss, which we're going to look at journal entries about this a little later. But let's go back and look at this one again. At the end of year 1, I have this asset on my books for $82,000. If I sell it at the end of year 1 for $80,000, while it's on my books at $82,000, do I have a gain or a loss? If I sell it for $80,000 while it's on my books for $82,000, I'm going to have a loss of $2,000. So with this in mind, I have a brain teaser for us. Are you ready? If you get this on the first go, I will be so proud of you. But look at me. You know this is going to be tricky. You know it is. Okay. Are we ready? I'll even be nice. We're going to buy this on the first day of the year and sell it on the last day of the year, which is very rare. I've made it nice so far, but here we go. On January 1, year 1, we bought an asset. It cost $90,000. Useful life of this asset, 3 years. Salvage value of this asset, $40,000. I used double declining method of depreciation to depreciate this asset. And I sold this asset at the end of year 2 and I'm going to sell it for, what do we say? $41,000. My question to you is, did we sell this for a gain or a loss? I'm going to let you think about this for a minute. In fact, I want you to pause this video. Pause it right now. And when you have your answer, what you think your answer is, then you hit play. Can you do that? Can I trust you? Pause right now. Okay. You've turned back on. Did you get an answer? Are you just waiting for mine? Okay. How many of us think that we got a loss? I don't think so. How many of us think that we have a gain? I hope so. How many of us think that that gain is $31,000? Because that's going to be the most common wrong answer. You knew that, right? Of course you did. Okay, let's think about this. I'm going to tell you that the answer is $1,000. It's a gain. Okay, here we go. Depreciation. Accumulated depreciation. Book value. Double declining says we start off with book value. Book value is cost minus accumulated depreciation. In year one, there was no accumulated depreciation at this point, $90,000. And I'm going to multiply it by 2 over useful life. Useful life is 3. So 2/3 of this, my depreciation in year one is $60,000 by formula. But did you take 60,000? I bet you did. Shame on you. Shame. We know the rule is the maximum that you can depreciate an asset, cost minus salvage value. The most I could depreciate this asset was $50,000. And when I got $60,000 here, I should have rejected this, accepted $50,000. This would have made my accumulated depreciation 50, book value 40. And you said, well, we didn't sell it to the end of year 2. No, we didn't. But I maxed out in year 1. So you know what my depreciation is in year 2? Zip. Do you know what my accumulated depreciation still is? $50,000. And my book value is still $40,000. And then I look at this book value. I have an asset on my books for $40,000. I sold it for $41,000. I'm thinking I have a gain, $1,000. You got that? You did good. I'm proud of you. Okay, that is the end of this lecture for a moment. We're going to do another one in just a little bit. But for now, let's take a break. Go get a coffee, go get a smoke, whatever you got to do. Go to the bathroom, and we'll join back up soon. Okay, see you then.